Okay, in this video, I'm going to be going over Unit 1, Section 2.4. We're going to be looking at set operations with Venn diagrams with 3 sets. So we're going to perform those set operations. We're going to use Venn diagrams with 3 sets, and we're going to use Venn diagrams to prove equality of sets, okay? So in example 1, we've got our universal set, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then we have these subsets here, okay? Set A includes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. B, 1, 2, 3, 6, and 8. C is 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7, okay? So we're going to work to find each of the following sets that they've asked us to here, okay? So we're going to work inside these parentheses to identify what elements are part of set B and set C. Remember that that's what that symbol there means, is the word and. So if we look at set B, it's got 1, 2, 3, 6, and 8. And set C has the 2, the 3, the 4, the 6, and the 7. So I'm going to go and circle the elements that are in both of them, okay? So you've got your 2, you've got your 3 in both of them, you've also got your 6 in both of them. So the elements that are part of B and C would be your 2, your 3, and your 6. So I'm going to bring those 2 over here to represent 2, 3, and 6, that part of this setup, okay? And then we know A is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Try not to get too crowded there, okay? So I sometimes like to write it out where I've got plenty of room. I know I'm writing all over the place, but set A is going to have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that it has on the original list, okay? And then the second part, or B and C, and we took the time to identify those a second ago, and that was just those 3 numbers, the 2, the 3, and the 6, okay? So when we use that word or, that means we can be in either set, okay? We don't have to be in both of them. We can be in either set and make it to our final answer, okay? So we would include the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of course, in our answer, everything that's in set A. And then we'll pick up anything that's in this set down here that maybe we didn't account for. We've already accounted for our 2, our 3. We're going to pick up our 6, and that will conclude the answer to this first part here, okay? So let's first identify the elements that are in A or B. So everything that's in A or B. So I'm just going to go ahead and list A out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or B, okay? So we've already counted our 1, our 2, our 3. We need to pick up our 6 and our 8, okay? And this, of course, means and. So we'll kind of read it like that as we come to our final answer. So who's in A or C? Well, we know very well who's in A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or C. Well, C's got your 2 and your 3 and your 4. We've already accounted for those. We need to pick up our 6 and our 7 because what we have listed here is an A or C. So we've got 2 pretty lengthy lists here, okay? A or B and A or C. And then we're going to look to come together with the final answer that contains the elements that are in this set and this set. So our 1s, our 2s, our 3s, our 4s, our 5s, our 6s, and that is it. Okay, so the final answer here would be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Part B. So again, set A is being identified here. And who's part of set A? And B or C complement. So I'm going to come off and kind of show that off to the side here because that idea of a complement takes a little bit of effort, okay? So B, we have 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. C complement. Remember how the complement works is everything else except C. Okay, so we look at C and we get everything else that's in the universal but not in C. So we need to pick up our 1. He's got our 2, our 3, our 4. We'd need to pick up our 5. He's got our 6 and our 7. We would then need to get our 8 and our 9 that are part of that universal as part of C complement. So again, C complement is everything else except C, okay? And what we're looking for on the right-hand side of this setup is any elements that are part of B or C complement. So this could be a pretty lengthy list also, okay? So everything that's in B is going to make this list. So the 1, 2, 3, 6, and 8. And anything that's in C complement because of that word or. So 1's already counted for. We need to pick up our 5. 8's already counted for. We need to pick up our 9. So that is that list. Okay, I'm going to try to do a line here so we're not getting too confused. So the final answer is going to be any element that shows up here and here. So this could be a shorter list for sure. We've got our 1's, we've got our 2's, our 3's. No 4, we've got our 5's, and that's it. So 1, 2, 3, and 5 it is. And then this part, I'll let you complete it on your own if you want or need some extra practice in the on your own section. Example 2, determining sets from Venn diagrams with 3 intersecting sets. So Venn diagram, all this is in A, all this is in B, all this is in C, okay? And remember that the Roman numerals themselves are only identifying those particular regions. So like that Roman number 1 isn't an element. It's this region here. That Roman number 2 is just this grayish, sort of this light gray region, okay? So who's part of set A? Anything inside of this circle that's labeled A. So you've got your 11, your 3, your 5, 6, 7, and 12. We'll go ahead and get all of those. And that should do it. 11, 3, 6, 5, 7, and 12. He's part of A or B, so I'll get the same ones I already listed because they're all in A. And then I'll work to look at the Venn diagram to determine what I haven't gotten yet that's in B. So this region and this region I've already covered up here. So I need to pick up my 9, 1, 2, and 10. Who's in B and C? That's nice to tell usually in a Venn diagram because where they overlap is where we're looking. B and C, so we've got your 5, 7, and 9 are in that overlapping region of B and C. Who's in C complement? So anything that's not inside that C circle, even anything out here in the universal. So we need to get, I'll start writing it. We need to get the 11, the 3, the 12, the 1, the 2, the 10. 11, 3, 12, 1, 2, 10, and then don't forget about the 4 way out there. Who's in A and B and C? So who's in the overlap of all 3 sets? You want to go to the very middle of all of this. A, B, and C all overlap right here with your 5 and your 7. So Venn diagram's nice in that sense. Usually you can kind of look and pick these things out, okay? On your own piece, it's another Venn diagram that I will let you work on your own for the extra practice if you need it. Of course, reach out to me with any questions if you have them. All right, determining a Venn diagram from sets, okay? So this is we're going to construct a Venn diagram. It's already pre-printed. We're just here to fill it in, okay? Let me make sure I have something good to write with, okay? So set A, I'm going to kind of write these out before they make it to the Venn diagram. I like to write them this way for some reason. And then C, A, C, E, H. All right, so who's part of A and B? Well, let's see. The E's, the G's, the H's, and the L's. Okay, E, G, H, L. part of A and C? The A's, the E's, the H. So A, E, and H there. Let's get it over. Let's see. What else? B and C. So B and C has an E and an H, and that's it. E and H. Now who's part of all three? Who's part of A and B and C? Not A. D, not D. E, so that would be one that's in all three. To have another color? Let's do that. Found that E was in all three. Is G in all three? No. H is in all three. L and J. Nope, so just E and H in all three. Yeah. Okay. So who's part of A and B and C? Who's in the very, very middle? E and H. Done. Who's part of B and C? We already got those guys covered in this region. There isn't really anything in region 6 because there wasn't anything outside of those guys that B and C had in common. Who's in A and C? They have A, E, and H. So we do need to pick up an A here in region 4 to show that A and C have A, E, and H in common. A and B, of course, we have the E and the H already taken care of, but in this region, we know that they also have, in addition to the E and the H, they have the G and the L. Okay, so then what we do now, basically start on the inside, work outwards, is go ahead and pick up anything else that A has that we haven't accounted for. So the A is taken care of. The D never showed up any common with anyone else, so we need to pick him up here. We've got the E covered, the H covered, the L covered. We never got the J anywhere else, okay? So move to set B over here on the right. The B never got covered anywhere else. He's in the set B only, it looks like. The E was covered here, the G was covered here, the H was covered here, the L was covered here. Set C, we already got the A, we've already got the E and H. We need to pick up the C in this region. And then after that, it's really the universal set on the outside. So anything that hasn't been covered. We've got our A covered. We've got a B covered here. So you can either look here or look here. But we got your A, your B, your C, your D, your E. A, B, C, D, E. I don't think we have an F anywhere. So we need to get the F out here. B, C, D, F. You've got your G. You've got your H. There's no I anywhere. So we need to get the I out here. And then we've got your J, and we also never got the K anywhere else. So let's do that there, okay? So the universal set is for anything that didn't fall in a particular set there, okay? Everything else. So on your own, we'll do on your own. I'm going to stop this video since it's almost 15 minutes before finishing this section off.